Hey guys, it's Jonah here and I'm back with a special beer review. I try to make everything I do a little bit special. And that's what my mum used to call me when I was young. But this beer we're looking at today is like a Marmite of beers. Marmite in a pint glass. Because it is the one and only Hop House 13 from Guinness, from the Brewers Project. Like I say, a lot of beer reviewers are really slating this. But when you listen to their reviews, they don't really go into much detail as to why it's bad. So I'm going to try and do a very, very honest review and try and hit everything that a beer review should have in it, just so you guys can understand a little bit about this beer, and obviously try it for yourself, and I'll let you know what I think. First of all, the look of that bottle, look at that label. I think that's fantastic. Very, very cool. Red and black. And obviously you've got the white, which is continued on the crown cap. I think that's a really, really good looking product. And would you expect anything less from Guinness? I don't know. The only thing that's bad, in my opinion, is it's a 330 instead of a 500 or even a pint. Dare it, I ask. I mean, they are in Ireland after all, so it should be millilitres really. The Hop House 13, what's that all about? Well, Hop House 13 is where they store all their hops. And the building over there in Dublin was built back in the 1900s, I believe. They still use it to house the hops that they use in their beers today. So that's why it's called Hop House 13. What else? They use their own lager yeast in here, apparently. And I just hope, is it the same yeast that they've had in storage from the old Enigma days? If you guys remember that beer, I used to quite like the Enigma. I thought it was quite a good beer. Now, it says it's double hop, but I have been told through sources that I can't really say, that it's got three types of hops. It's got Galaxy and Topaz, all the way from Oceania, from down in the South Seas. But it's also got a bit of mosaic in it from the US of A. So we'll see if those are present or I can detect them. Hey, we'll see what happens. Anyway, let's get in here. I've already pre-degassed this because I've been sitting on this beer for a while, so that's why there wasn't a hit. Very, very mild aroma from the bottle. So I think I'm going to give it a slightly aggressive pour to generate some head, and we all like a bit of head, but also so I can get that aroma. Look at that. That is king head. That is exactly what I was going for. We're talking at least 3 fingers worth of head. And look at that. Look at that upside down snowstorm, as a lot of people call it. Colour wise, yes, it's a lager, but it's slightly darker, I hope you agree, than just your normal standard kind of piss in a glass that they get. And look at those bubbles. Really, really thick, like an ice cream, like a cornetto. This should have a flake in there. And I deliberately didn't chill this one down, so. Right, nose time. We're definitely getting kind of fresh fruit. Not citrus though, this is more kind of, I'd say sort of peach. We're getting a bit of peach, a bit of apricot, maybe even a kind of grapefruit. So it's definitely that kind of hop note from the South Seas. New Zealand are a very, very well-known hop grower, and that's the kind of, you know, aroma you get. Maybe a touch of lychee in there I'm getting as well. Oh, really fine, but it's very subtle. This is not a heavily hopped beer. It's a lager. This is not an IPA. Please don't judge this as if it was an IPA. Now, I'm going to end up with a huge amount of head on my moustache, so please excuse me in advance. Let's go in for a bit of a taste. Oh, fighting through the bubbles there, and I've done quite well. I haven't got any on my tash. surprisingly light. We're getting quite a lot of bitterness though, not typical in your normal kind of lagers, even your sort of German lagers. But it's quite clean, quite fresh. I'm slightly disappointed because I'm not getting the flavour that I was getting on the nose. This is much more about getting some nose type beer. I'm getting that kind of slight warm feeling. It is a 5%er, yep, 5% beer, so that's not too shabby. And I'm a little bit of sweetness. I'm getting residual sweetness. Maybe like a honey, or a sort of, maybe darker than that, maybe like a kind of demerara sugary caramelly kind of thing going on. Hey, maybe they've added caramel because it is slightly dark in colour. A lot of people that I've listened to have said they can get a sort of tinniness, but I'm not getting that. So the taste right up front is kind of, that's where your peach dwells, your lychee, your fruits, followed by a little bit of bitterness, but it's very dry. It doesn't, how shall we say, it's not really powerfully hopped, it's not up there in the face, nor is it too bitter. Finish isn't really crisp and clean. It kind of hangs around a little bit too much in your mouth. You'll be kind of chewing this on the way home if you drink too many of these down the pub. You know, that sort of coating in your mouth you get sometimes, and it is that kind of sweetness. So overall, I quite like Guinness. This, I can see why people don't like it, especially those hophead type of guys, because they're thinking, oh, it's going to be really hoppy. It is not a hoppy beer. This is a lager, and I suspect they put the hops in, make it a hop lager, just to give it a little bit of interest, a little bit of kind of little bit of bitterness compared with a normal lager, and also it's got that kind of fruity aroma on there. Tiny bit lackluster, but it's not supposed to be an IPA. It's not even supposed to be a pale ale. This is a lager. It's not supposed to be slapping you around the face with a wet piece of hoppage, a wet hop vine. It is what it is, and I give it much props and bonus points just for that fantastic looking bottle. If you like your lagers, if you like your light beers, if you like your pale ales, not IPAs, but your normal pale ales, go and give this one a go. Will I drink loads of these? I don't think so, because I'm not really a lager drinker. But if I was, I'd definitely slip this one in, just so you've got a bit of interest with your mates, something to talk about, and obviously you've got those fantastic New World hops in the aroma. Guys, cheers and beers. This has been Uncle Jonah here, drinking some beers so you don't have to. But I always recommend that you have a go, and then if you want to come back and say, that's not what I thought at all, write your comments down below. Cheers and beers, guys. We'll see you real soon for more beer reviews, and I'm going to sink this one. Take care. Well, look, there's a good finger of head down there. Even got a tiny bit of lacing on this glass. I'm liking this beer more and more.